The cost keeps going up for medical care for Americans, but if you're really sick, what's the best way to keep that cost down and still be seen by a doctor? Dan Cummins talked to an ER doctor who has a few tips for potential patients. Dan?
According to the CDC, flu season will probably peak right about now in the middle of the month of February, and Northwest Ohioans might turn to the emergency room to help with the symptoms. But ProMedica ER physician Dr. Brian Kaminsky says you should consider your options to stretch your dollar.
Dr. Kaminsky says many people make a trip to the emergency room with flu-like symptoms because those symptoms are similar to other illnesses like COVID-19 or pneumonia. We asked why those trips to the ER are so expensive for the uninsured and underinsured people.
That's a costly proposition for emergency rooms to be everything to everybody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And as a consequence, the more expensive part of that care is built into the cost associated with the care.
To save money during the flu season, Dr. Kaminsky says if you have a sore throat, achiness, or fatigue, don't go to the emergency room. But if those symptoms get worse, like shortness of breath, an inability to function, or an inability to eat and drink, then you could consider seeking care at the ER. But here's a reality check. When it comes to the flu, hands of medical professionals at the ER will be tied.
In general, we say that the treatment is supportive in nature, meaning that we treat the symptoms and there isn't a lot that we do to treat the underlying disease.
To stretch your dollar, consider an urgent care, retail care, teledoc, or family doctor for medical issues that are what Dr. Kaminsky calls emergent but not urgent.
Dr. Kaminsky says the average person thinks they'll get more specialized care at the ER, and while he says that's true for something like the flu, the trip to the ER will end up being a lot more expensive than seeing a primary care physician. Stretching your dollar, I'm Dan Cummins.